Here we are, game number 2. Now coming at you, we got the draft underway. As you can see, Spirit versus Empire, and right now Spirit is up 1-0 here in this best of 3. Remaining. This is the GESC Thailand minor qualifiers, the CIS region. 4 teams competing, 1 team going on to the main event. It's a pretty simple format, just straight up double elimination. This is our first round, getting things kicked off today. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Tsunami here. We got a tiny first pick, so a little bit of difference here in game number 2 now. But you also look at the bands and a little bit of reaction. We got the Visage band from Empire, so not going to see him this time around. Razor Rubik so far. The response.
I see 3 heroes that got nerfed.
Yeah.
7.12. Tiny's HP regen got reduced. Rubik's telekinesis cooldown got increased, and as mentioned in the previous game, Razor had his unstable current damage reduced and the static link cast range reduced. So Gyrocopter evidently did not make the cut. Let's see if Tiny makes the cut on still viable in 7.12.
That's the question. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna look at last game and sit here and say, oh yeah, Gyrocopter's not making the cut now, but I still think he's a pretty relevant hero. But it's good to start seeing some nerfs to the hero, though. That's for sure.
I don't see him being picked. Riddle me that.
You got me there. The great sample size that is. Nature's Prophet is a site. Now, Nature's Prophet has had an interesting story these last month or so, I feel like. We've been seeing a lot of the support Nature's Prophet coming out, actually. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the case here now.
Yeah, namely in this region specifically. I don't know if it's bled into other regions quite yet.
China. It definitely has.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There was, what was it? It was the MDL qualifier for it or something. Maybe it was one of the qualifiers recently for China that was cast like 5 days worth in a row. We saw it pretty much every day on position 4, position 5, multiple times.
Do you recall what the builds were typically?
It was, I don't know. I feel like it was usually more of the drum style, like the medallion, just more the utility in the end. But
yeah, that would have been my guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm intrigued.
10
Spirit.
seconds remaining.
Let me see. Let me crunch some numbers here to see if they have had a history of picking it one way or the other. No, they have not picked this hero in like the past month, evidently.
Go figure. But everyone else has, so kind of picking up on the trend, perhaps.
Perhaps.
What others are doing. So.
Yeah, last time they picked it was 2 months ago against Navi for the GESC Quals, and they picked it offline, but. You know, doesn't mean anything. That was 3 months ago. That was like 20 patches ago, so who knows?
Interesting. Well, they're picking it up now and obviously hoping for a victory against Team Empire, but Empire has something to say about that with the Razor Rubik opening. Another third pick to come. It's only position 4. You see heavy position 4 bands, Tusk and Sand King coming out from Spirit, or with the Bounty Hunter even thrown in there. You have a Chen from before, Dark Willow, so starting to go down a little bit. We saw the Nyx Assassin last game and the impact that he had, but don't know if you want a third pick a Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, maybe not. Earth Spirit is still available if they want to go for that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's probably on top of the list. You know, a hero that we don't see often, that Earthshaker. Position 4, you know, Nature's Prophet on the other side. This might be a support, but still, that could be fun to see. Batrider. Okay. Offlane Batrider.
Offlane option. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think Empire are equally, I wouldn't say confused, but equally curious about what this Nature's Prophet is going to end up as. And so I don't think they want to commit one way to another about being like, oh, we got to counter him as like a core and go for like, I mean, Clockwork's not really a hero, but these days the only reason that you would pick Clockwork is unless if you're running an SF strat or a great way to deal with Nature's Prophet. But Batrider's kind of a split the average kind of thing. He can deal with Nature's Prophet core, and he can deal with Nature's Prophet support. He can't really deal with Nyx Assassin, which, as he said, was picked in the previous game and played by Biver, and this game definitely has more viability. We saw in the previous game, I mentioned that Nyx is a good hero to deal with Keeper of the Light, but a great hero to deal with Batrider.
Yeah. So it happens to be back-to-back games, but obviously both on the side of Spirit. Biver did play a hell of a Nyx Assassin in that first game once again. So it's either going to be a position 5 Nature's Prophet, essentially, or it might be more of the traditional off lane with like a tiny But that's the thing with Tiny and even Nature's Prophet. The opening there, yes, Tiny specifically got nerfed as himself, but so diverse. I mean, you could literally do so many things with those two heroes when it comes to the laning phase. So that alone is why I like to see the opening from Spirit, but still not 100% sure how it'll end up just yet. Against the lineup of Empire so far, it does feel like going a core Nature's Prophet right now might be a little weak.
Earth Shaker.
Well, there you go.
Well, how about that?
Turn it into a support now. Let's go.
I can't say I saw that one coming. Earthshaker, yeah, how about that? Lifestealer in the response, but all right, we get an Earthshaker. See, yeah, it has to be a support Nature's Prophet now.
Yeah, I suppose so. Biver, like, he's not the offlane player as Phobos is the offlane player, but he still kind of started out in the offlane as the Nyx Assassin in the previous game, and then afterwards, after getting like basically 2 levels, then he basically left the lane. So I would be okay with kind of like splitting the average, let Nature's Prophet and Nyx Assassin kind of trade off in terms of not farm priority but experience priority and who takes over that hard lane, or they could dual lane also. I'd be okay with that as well. Though it does look like Spirit still need to find a mid laner for Illidan.
Yeah.
Death Prophet is still available, who's a hero that also got nerfed, but one that is a favorite of Spirit's.
I was going to say, she had to get nerfed, right? I didn't necessarily see her initially, but okay, yeah, Spirit Siphon and a Silence Mana Cost. Definitely some decent nerfs there. Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Not enough. Nerf or not, they'll take it. Death Prophet coming out, a tough target to kill. But a way to kill her is that upfront burst damage, and they don't have the most. I mean, the Earthshaker initiation sure is nice, but yeah, it's a lineup right now that it'll take time to kill you. So Death Prophet does make a lot of sense, really.
Yeah, there's really, I suppose, the best way that you have against a discouraging extended fights is just like getting a static link off with Razor, and so like, you know, obviously the longer the fight goes on, then the longer the Razor gets more damage, and then especially against a hero like Lifestealer who can't really deal with getting linked very well, but we'll see. Spirit seemed confident. The one thing, I suppose, so it's going to be, yeah, support Nature's Prophet as you suspected, offlane Tiny, and then 4-position, well, I guess 5-position Nyx Assassin, even though it, I don't know. So I've seen 4-position Nature's Prophet, I have not seen 5-position Nature's Prophet, so I'm curious how much farm priority FNG is going to be given this game.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen technically, like, I'm doing air quotes right now, like position 5 Nature's Prophets and the players that play in it, but it seems like they always give it at least some kind of priority, like I said, to get those early utility items. Or else the hero can feel pretty underwhelming, because, yeah, his skill set's okay for supporting, but you want him still to have a little bit of that presence on the map, right, of maybe a little bit of split push or being able to set up or assist in a gank effectively by himself. So,
yeah, especially because right now, like, Phantom Lancer can easily get out of Sprout. Batrider can get out of Sprout. Rubik technically can if you, like, telekinesis land something to break the trees. Really, it's only Razor who's the most susceptible to that kind of crowd control that comes out from a 5-position Nature's Prophet. So, I'm curious. We'll see how it goes, because I've not really seen enough of it to give like a solid judgment on if I think this is a good draft for a 5-position Nature's Prophet or not.
So Nyx, though, playing the Phantom Lancer this time around, again as their final pick. They're going to pause to start things off now, but Empire, obviously not necessarily their event lives, but this match live is on the line here, down to 1-0 now. It is double elimination though, so worst case bounce to the losers bracket. But
yeah, I don't actually know who you are the most willing to face, because like, so Na'Vi technically are not looking that great as of recently, but then like a little less recently in the other GESC tournament they did pretty well, and then they went to a bunch of CIS qualifiers and got obliterated by open qualifier teams, and so maybe it's Na'Vi. And then Vegas Squadron, they made it to the grand finals of like 3 qualifiers, and then they got through one of them, the MDL major one.
Yeah.
The other 2, I believe, or they didn't get into the finals of the Madness one. They lost out in the semifinals to Fly to Moon, and so they're pretty good. And then right now, Empire, they just won the CIS qualifier for Epicenter, and then they were just at Dream League, which they didn't do great at, but it's still LAN experience. And so, like, all these teams seem relatively even in skill level.
Yeah.
So you want to get every single win possible, because I don't think you're going to get any other easy wins.
I mean, to ultimately be the team to move on, obviously you're going to have to defeat multiple, if not all three. So
Right.
it's going to happen eventually. But yeah, Navi, especially with the whole CEO situation too, talking about like getting that announcement already of like, oh, something may be happening. You know, we're going to reevaluate, and then comes back a couple days later. So by the way, guys, we're not actually changing anything. So
I think it's because like the CEO, he was just like, man, I really got to make a change. And then someone was like, dude, we're going to lose our DPC points if we make a change. He's like, never mind, just kidding.
yeah,
guys.
no, we're
No
good.
changes.
We're good. Yeah, they're currently sitting in, I believe they're still 8th place in
Yeah.
Dota 2 Pro Circuit points. So for now, they're probably good. Anyways, okay, game number 2 now. Kicking off Bounty Rune Control. It's going to be pretty passive.
The battle
Unless
begins.
they just profit. Oh, wow, this is going to be a 3-for-1.
The seeds of
FNG just kind of walks up and is like, all right, I'll take it. Bullies
Old
out.
zoning trance works every time.
They got all 4? How did Biver get both?
I actually don't know how Biver got the bot one. That's a good question.
Okay.
Easy net worth advantage.
Like, how do you play so passive? Holy crap. Anyways,
Because you really got to protect this mid lane. FN
Yes.
and Poshka, they don't even like the greatest of blocks either. So, yeah. Well, I'm sure Spirit are very pleased about that. Oh, Link does not get dropped in the river, unfortunately.
yeah. Want to throw him over. And look at the bottom layer. And Biver's
Look at the mid lane. There are 4 Radiant heroes just dicking around in the mid lane.
Empire
right now.
seems so lost right now, man. They don't know what's going on.
They're like, wait, are we Radiant? Oh my god.
Wait, this is Dota?
Yeah, so Nick's Phantom Lancer is moving to the bot lane. I guess maybe you don't want to have to deal with Nature's Prophet. I mean, you should have known that it was going to be a 5-position Nature's Prophet because FNG's playing it. But I don't really think that Batrider does that much better against this kind of setup. Maybe once you get some points in Firefly, but yeah, Phantom Lancer moves on to the bot lane. He wants to go up against
Dire's
the
top
Life Stealer,
tower is under
evidently.
attack.
And we'll see if that works.
Yeah. Alright, so the musical lanes finally completed. And for now, going to be pretty static. Yoku, though, at the top lane with the Batrider. It's not the easiest, though, because this is the nice advantage of having Nature's Prophet support. Is we talk about all the time Nature's Prophet in the lane and how he bullies out the certain heroes on the other side. And now when he's a support, I mean, that's his priority. Usually he's trying to farm as well, but now he's just like, all right, I'm just going to run at you. He has an Orb of Venom. He's going to run at the Batrider and start right-clicking him,
Ghost Stick
actually.
wants level 2 so badly.
Oh,
Blocks.
good point.
Oh, Ghost Stick is screwed.
I mean, that was one of those he kind of had to try.
Yeah, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, really.
Yeah. So lost cause, though, at that point. Biver gets 2 more bounty runes for the team.
yes.
This it's already 1,000 net worth advantage for Spirit with that first blood and all the bounty rune control. We just hit 2 minutes. Not often you see that.
Well, now Ghost Stick is at level 2, so all of a sudden FNG's viability as a support falls off a cliff because Firefly deals with the treants very well, and obviously you
Illusion.
won't get blocked by them either, so you can kill them and you can evade them.
Bottom lane, Phantom Lancer. He's 5-1 right now against Life Stealer. 13-5. Obviously, Nyx did get here late on the Phantom Lancer, but Life Stealer having a dominating time to say the least. Maposhka will lift him up and try to do some damage, but Life Stealer's like, all right, I'll just stand my ground. He's got his passive, his Feast, healing on up. Not too worried. So back and forth clash there. Middle lane, though, it's the one really successful lane for Empire right now, and it's going very well. FN's 18-11 against 9-2. He is
Bot lane.
dominating.
Nyx is kind of taking quite a bit of damage. He got open wounded into impaled, but he's going to back off.
No doppelganger.
Yeah,
yet.
mid lane is definitely, but that's because they're dedicating 2 heroes against just the one of Death Prophet's G. It was originally the Rubik, Maposhka's Rubik helping out the Razor, and now you can see this Yoku Earthshaker is looking for his moment. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that he's in vision of his ward, and now FNG is going to pull the ripcord and be like, yeah, okay, you can't do anything anymore.
Yoku should be fine, though, with those boots. Running away, trying to get cut off. FNG going the other angle, but Again, can't get in range for another auto attack.
He's just guaranteeing that this bounty rune's not going to get gotten by Yoku.
True.
He's sending one treant to the top bounty rune to make sure that it's not claimed by Ghost Stick, and then the bot bounty, he may just deny it, or he's just gonna keep that treant scouting, and once he confirms that Shaker's... Oh, no, he does deny it.
Yeah.
What a play.
Yeah, if I can't have it, nobody can. Kind of play there. Invis picked up by Nick's Assassin. Biver gonna use that, heading towards the middle lane. He pings out Razor. Can they really kill the Razor, though? I don't think so right now. He's got a Fairy Fire, Ring of Acula.
Yeah, this is tricky. You've got 2 Siphon charges, but you're gonna have to go way into the... Oh. Phobos meanwhile gets a kill, but yeah, FNG. He's got Link and Plasma Field. I don't really think he's concerned. I
was gonna say, Biver, the funny thing about that too, Biver actually opened as if that was a Vendetta opening.
Yeah, dude, I saw it and I was just like, wait, where's the burst damage? And then I was like, oh yeah, it's just an Invis rune.
I mean, it got him a free auto attack, I guess. It still looked kind of funny. I was like, that really didn't do much. Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, meanwhile, though, as you mentioned, top lane, Gostic, we didn't see it because I was watching middle, but he goes down. And now we see rotation from Nature's Prophet to the middle. In fact, running into Yoku, who's in trouble now. Spiked Carapace, not going to be activated.
Oh, the trance. Squeezes himself out.
Fissure, he's trying.
He's kind of screwed, though. He doesn't have a TP for 30 seconds.
True.
So he's just got to run.
Here's the attack.
No points in Sprout, though.
Yeah, Orb of Venom attacks, though.
Dire Courier's coming, though. Use it for scouting.
Oh. No,
bait
him.
Send it.
Bait him. Well, you know what? 13 more seconds if he can live for it. And if anything, he's creating space. He's going to live, actually. They just figure it's not worth the chase. And I think that's the right call. It's obviously at that point. Let him be. Lifestealer's now transitioned to the top lane, by the way. They killed Bat Rider a couple times, but you see right here, I mean, once that rage wears off, Lifestealer having to fall back.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm surprised that they go for this, but I think it's because they think that the Tiny can do more to shut down the Phantom Lancer, and I don't really think you need to shut down the Bat Rider, so it's great that Phobos is able to get that kill on Ghost Stick, but it's more important to make sure that Phantom Lancer gets 0 form. But Phantom Lancer has traded as well. He's walking up to the top lane.
There you go. He's going to make his way up here. And
this is weird. I didn't know that Phantom Lancer hates laning against Tiny this much. To me, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but... And I don't think he gets an advantage against Lifestealer. It's just not as bad as it is against Tiny.
Yeah. And you'd figure, if anything, being in your safe lane, it's just more of the comfort there, but...
Right, yeah.
Not the case. At least.
And it's not like he can avoid Nature's Prophet, because Nature's Prophet, I mean, he can just teleport to wherever this Phantom Lancer goes.
True. Unfortunately, that Fissure blocking out Phantom Lancer as well, so any chance of a turn, not going to happen there at the top lane. But it was initially to save the PL, to be fair. Rubik lift up. This could be a kill Lifestealer, actually. He pops a Rage, open wounds, he has to run, and he'll do just that. No, Fissure connects, though. He turned around for a split second. Doppelganger forward. Phantom Lancer's going in for the kill. It's not going to be enough damage, though. Already has a Blightstone, or has a Tango, excuse me, activated.
Yeah. Illidan has boots, and Phantom Lancer does not. Even though he is maxing out Rush on Phantom Lancer, it just wasn't enough.
So 2-0 start remains for Team Spirit, but more importantly, perhaps, that 3,000 net worth lead already at 7.5 minutes. And win probability, with that said, is still 54-46, though, in favor of Spirit, but only 54. That's actually not that much.
Well,
so
good. I would be disappointed in the algorithm if it started calculating substantial win percentages 7 minutes into the game.
Fair enough, fair enough. I've seen some pretty ridiculous stuff with that. It is a pretty BS stat in the end. I keep saying that, but yet I keep referencing it too. It's just fun.
I mean, it's fun. It's entertaining. Yeah. It adds more to the storyline. Now, Illidan. Exactly.
Dire's top tower.
Going on Nyx, and Nyx only has 1 point. He's going straight for the TP. Impale.
Well,
I don't even think that Impale would have connected, to be
I was just about to say, and you know, that's okay. He actually still might get out, actually. Phantom Rush? Yeah, he's good. Okay, so it works out of the end, but I'm with you. I actually think that Impale was going to miss, and he would have been fine. But, you know, this way he gets to stick around at least.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, really not the worst case. Make the best of it.
I mean, for Sprout being basically useless, FNG is still doing a surprising amount on this 5-position Nature's Prophet. He's basically successfully made sure that Phantom Lancer, for whatever reason, is now, again, Infest, and Illidan's going to be fine. It doesn't even have to use Rage. for the most part, he's secured Lifestealer's farm. Phantom Lancer's not getting like an exceptional start himself, and Illidan's still going, and he still has Rage.
Yeah, he's being very patient. That's good because he knows that if they really go all out, he can pop Rage and maybe even get a turn kill, honestly.
Right.
Not careful. So he's good. But Death Prophet, the Yules, is coming along. We're going to be next in line, at least for him. No surprise to see that.
I do not know what Yoku's game plan is up here. I do not think that they can get a kill on Illidan at all.
Bottom lane.
Like FNG teleport to the bot, yeah, and down goes Ghostic.
Easy kill. Nature's Prophet, not even really needed, but might as well.
Empire are very confused right now.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is
I
under
think
attack.
maybe they're just reading too much into the
Radiant
support Nature's
structures
Prophet.
are
Like, I don't know if they're like playing the game differently because you're up against like a theoretically globally teleporting support, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're mind gaming themselves. Now the teleporting bot, FNG goes for the sprout a little bit too late to detect out any TPs, and they didn't use scan either, and so he goes down, but it's just a 5 position.
That's
now
what
Rubik.
Remind yourself of, just to support Nature's Prophet, but yeah, Rubik choosing not to lift. And I wonder if he's scared of getting turned actually there, so he figures, alright, we'll just let him run. Middle. Exorcism is activated by G. He's going to take some tower damage. I mean, he's getting a little bit low, actually. Yeah, baiting, I guess. As the Spear Siphon comes out, the Flame Break push, but they're going to come Phantom Lancer. The Invis Tiny coming in at clutch time. The lasso on G. Exorcism not wearing off in time, so he does end up going down, actually. And now Biver, spiked Carapace. They're not going to attack. And now after
11 wand charges. Oh, turn around impale. Oh, the turn.
He's so slow. That sticky napalm. Well, that worked out very well actually for Empire. Considering. But they're going to lose tier 1 top.
And they do lose the Phantom Lancer as well, but granted Phantom Lancer isn't the highest net worth hero yet by quite a long shot for Empire. Nyx is just struggling. And again, like I feel like he's created a lot of problems for himself. I feel like if he just stuck around in the bot lane, I don't think Tiny's that big of a deal, especially if you get like something like a range up. So Nyx hasn't gotten any range ups, or maybe he did and they all got burned off in that mid lane fight, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I just haven't played the matchup enough, but whatever the case, Nyx is falling behind significantly. And this was like a 4th pick Phantom Lancer, so you should have known what you were getting yourself into.
Yeah. Talking about the player there, by the way, just clarifying it.
Right, yeah. I'll always suffix assassin if I'm talking about the hero.
Yeah, yeah. We also have a Nyx in the game, by the way.
Yeah, we do, true.
I've always called him Lifestealer, though. By the way, speaking of Lifestealer, Radiance, potential, you think? Is that pretty much going to be coming at 2,000 gold saved up now?
Yeah, these days, that's pretty much the go-to against Phantom Lancer is now FNG. He's going to get out Carapace to stop Ghostic. I don't think they know that Lasso's still down, but just in case.
Yeah. Nice getaway. Where did Nyx Assassin go? Oh, he went middle lane. Okay. Pops the urn, and he's good to go. Once again, Biver, back-to-back games, having successful Nyx Assassin games. Heading towards
this time
Nyx.
I don't think he's going to go for this full-on Spirit Vessel. I'm glad that he's going for a Blink Dagger instead. It's, like last game I said, that so you can mitigate the Keeper of the Light Heal, you can mitigate the, Timbersaw's reactive armor HP regen. This game, like, PL can doppelganger it off, and none of the other heroes you really care about getting heals.
Yeah, you see Nature's Prophet Medallion in the work, so sticking in what seems like to be that usual build, especially on a support NP. So that utility for the team, and no different here. Flame Break pushback though, Lasso's ready. Gonna pull him back in, Nature's Prophet probably dead. Not much Death Prophet can do there other than say bye to his teammate.
Illidan, Rage TP.
Oh my god, that was actually so close. 112 stolen damage by Razor, so yeah, that almost did it.
They get the kill.
That hurts for Empire.
He used Lasso, and it's again a 5-position Nature's Prophet, who's second, or he's the lowest net worth on his team. And so, like, yeah, it's great that you got the kill, but like, if you saw Crystal Maiden, would you lasso her? Probably not.
To see Crystal Maiden in 2018. Good one.
I mean, she got some buffs. I don't think it was enough in 7.12, but her Arcane Aura regens her like ever so slightly more.
I saw Fly tweet that. He's like, she's coming back,
yeah, she's,
kinda. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Couple
I
more
think
buffs.
she's. All you need to do is just get a good strategy that takes advantage of her aura with the talent. That's like less mana cost other than getting invaded in his own jungle. Because she has like what I think it's like 14% mana loss, mana cost reduction. And so like if you have like a Storm Spirit on your team or a Skywrath on your team, like they could totally benefit from that.
Bottom, Gostic. You benefit from teammates being nearby because right now,
yes, he would.
They're wrapping around him.
Phobos is waiting to cut him off,
Yeah.
but he's still sticking around. Neither team has scans available. They're so close. This one lone treant
Okay,
finds
now
out the jig.
Now they see
all
him.
converge.
Finally, they find the target. They lock on and they collapse. Good execution from Spirit there, but again, Empire, no one nearby. They're just going to pop Exorcism, go for tier 2 tower. Here come the TPs now. G, yeah, maybe a little ambitious. Over here, they're going to cut off somebody. That's Earthshaker. He did not expect this. He gets run at and killed by Tiny, as well as Nyx Assassin. So the Exorcism, though, don't think they're going to be able to. Well, maybe they will actually just keep coming back in. Yeah, Phobos, he's resetting.
Yeah, the creep wave's too far away, unfortunately. And Nature's Prophet has left to go somewhere else. Otherwise, maybe you could use Treants, but yeah, they leave. And instead, top lane's going to get some pressure, and Illidan's not there, obviously. He's, as you suspected, going for that Radiance. He's got the Relic Gold very soon, and after that, it's really the best option against a Phantom Lancer.
Yeah. Makes the most sense. So 3,600 gold saved up. As you mentioned, just about
Arcane
there.
Rune on Phobos in the mid lane. Oh, he blows it. What a shame. Oh, he actually only has 2 points. Oh, yeah, he's surprisingly low level. 2 points in Avalanche, and went for 2 points in Tree Throw. So, still a little bit wild before we can see that outrageous burst come out from the Tiny.
Illidan's fine top lane. I mean, Nick still's running after him, but Bowrider doesn't have an initiation tool just yet, so I don't know what the idea was there at that point. But Lifestealer just pops Rage, walks away. He's good to go.
Poshka has taken Bad Rider's hiding spot in this bot lane.
We saw
it's
it happen.
daytime now,
Radiant
though.
structures are fortified.
And Nature's Prophet's TPing in.
Exorcism not ready yet, but with Nature's Prophet here especially, this should be an easy tower kill. In fact, here comes another TP. They're pinging the area. Now they know. G, Link is put up. She has her own Siphon. She also has a Yules. Nyx Assassin, he's going to impale. Break the Link, puts the urn up. DK Phobos is like, do I go? Do I go? No. He's going to back off, actually.
Whoa.
And they'll TP out. So well played to retreat. And they kill the tower. They get credit for it because of the siege.
Double damage.
Spirit are spreading Empire so thin.
Yeah.
Like, Empire will go up top and be like, let's kill Illidan. And then they're like, wait, we can't do that. We can't jump in middle. And then they'll be like, let's try and kill bot. And then they're like, wait, we can't because they keep disengaging and they keep TPing right in front of us. Freaking 28-second cooldown on telekinesis at level 1. This is what happens. I think one of the reasons why the nerf came is because everyone was getting value points in Nullfield, which is great. Nullfield has become a value point kind of spell because of the offensive capabilities, but then you keep your telekinesis at level 1, and it's a 28-second cooldown, which is an eternity as Phobos gets a kill on the Phantom Lancer solo with double damage rune. Yeah,
that's not surprising when you see the double damage rune, and might result in a turn though. Can a Sprout save? Yes, it can. Sprout comes out, and actually, okay, the Lifestealer was running in as if he wanted to kill more, but no
Radiance. Not
Radiance
his Radiance quite yet, yeah.
He needs to respect them in the area, though. Which he will. Kind of walks away. He's like, damn it, those are my creeps. But not worth your life for it, of course. Tiny's thinking about going back in. And then elsewhere, it's talk about spreading thin again. It's just like you're watching potential action. All of a sudden, across the map, another kill happens, and back over here. Rubik goes down finally, and that's a Radiance just about here now for Lifestealer. I mean, this is one of those games where, like, you can look at the negatives of Empire and say, oh, maybe things look off for them, but honestly, Spirit's playing so well.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. Especially because this seems like a strategy that they've scrimmed many times with the support Nature's Prophet, because FNG is playing it to perfection pretty much. I can't imagine any other way that a 5 position Nature's Prophet works out this well, because in the early game, the mid game, Viver now getting an impale, FNG with the medallion completed, Yoku is dead. really, you can't ask for anything more from what is technically an underfarm Nature's Prophet, but you can't look at it that way. You need to look at it as a 5-position Nature's Prophet who does not have a stun and has still managed to secure his team a 7k net worth advantage at 18 minutes.
I also look at for Empire, FN has had a very good game himself. I mean, he's 2-0-0. CS-wise, he's actually still top in the charts. His net worth is still very respectable considering the game. He has an SNY now finished, but clearly, you know, he can't do it alone. Now they're trying to catch G down here. He has a Yules, though. He'll pop that on Batrider and continue to run. Batrider blink in 3. That's going to be a reach, though. Are they going for it? Okay, well, lasso. Can they have the follow-up damage? Here comes Phobos, so jumping in with Lifestealer. They're going to go for the safe. G may die right here, the Siphon. Yes, he will go down, but FN in response. A TP in for Nature's Prophet. A Sprout on up. They get the turn kill, at least number 1. They're looking for more. FNG, though, he's run down by Nyx. And that Phantom Lancer, the Diffusal Blade, definitely doing some good damage. There he does. Manning up with that rage. The misses kicking in constantly, but Illidan, he's actually getting low. Lifestealer's going to fall right here. In comes a Fissure to finish the job. So Spirit went for the response, and I mean, they killed Razor, but they lose 3 in the return.
Yeah, great prioritization by Nyx. So he's gone for this Diffuse Blade. It's nice cancel by Biber to finish off the Rubik. So he basically just like burned off all of Tiny's mana and was just like, all right, I'm done with you. I don't need to finish you off or anything. And so Phobos was just running around. He had full HP and 0 mana. And usually whenever you have a full HP teammate as a Lifestealer, you'd be like, okay, sweet, we can take this fight. But Tiny contributes absolutely nothing if you can't use any of his spells. He's just like a 1 attack per second hero, and against a Phantom Lancer that's useless. And so it was all Lifestealer all alone basically, and Phobos had to back out.
How about the itemization of Tiny, by the way? Going to 4 staff after his Shadow Blade. Is that important?
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go for anything like a Blink Dagger. Like, so the Death Prophet got lassoed, and I saw Tiny coming in, I was like, oh sweet, here's the turn. And I knew he went for a Shadow Blade first. But yeah, then he goes for a 4-staff secondary, which is usually pretty good against a Batrider, but usually for support heroes. And I would have thought for Phobos, like a Blink Dagger is way more effective at dealing with any sort of initiation, mainly because you can do your own initiation. Yeah. If Shaker jumps in, if Batrider jumps in, you can very quickly turn that around with Avalanche Toss combination. But yeah, he's going for a 4-staff. It's a more defensive option, and I don't think that's necessary, seeing as how they have like a substantial net worth advantage. Usually you want to go for offensive options, not defensive options, but we'll see what Phobos does with it.
Well, he's not the only vehicle, to be fair, with the Lifestealer as well. Of course, they have Nyx Assassin with the Vendetta, and he actually has his own Blink, so maybe ideally Lifestealer will find himself using Infest inside Nyx Assassin moving forward. But yeah, it was kind of a reaction in that last fight to want to get their ace. If you look at Lifestealer, he turns off the Radiance as he's running bottom lane, not to give away information. And they are going to jump Yoku with that new Blink. There's the open wounds, but now in comes the lasso on the Lifestealer. He's going to have to go for the TP. The Rage is still active, and not for long, though. The lift is up. They dove so deep for this Earthshaker kill. They don't even get it. They lose 2. And Empire is slowly but surely climbing back into this game. Who would have thought the Radiance timing is when Empire would all of a sudden start shining in their favor?
Yeah, and I feel like part of it is because the combination is with the Nyx Assassin as opposed to the Tiny. Because, like, Shaker's, you know, he's a pretty tanky hero. He's a strength hero in his own right. He has 1300 HP, 5 armor, and that turnaround gank has now gotten him a Blink Dagger money. So Tiny, on the other hand, who now gets lifted as he walks into a freshly placed Sentry Ward, he gets discouraged, and that's just going to continue happening because Maposh is getting more and more gold. He's going to have more and more detection money to cancel out whatever initiation that this Tiny was going for with his Shadow Blade invis.
Death Prophet, by the way, Aeon Disc, a very early Aeon Disc, manages to pick up here with the Yules, but Aeon Disc feels a little odd to me, considering we talked about way to kill Death Prophets that outfront burst damage, right? But this Radiant side isn't one that's going to be bursting you down necessarily.
Yeah, I guess it discourages her from getting lassoed. You basically now just can't lasso the Death Prophet, because if you do, then you can't damage her. And what's the point of lassoing someone if you can't damage them? But yeah, it does feel a little bit preemptive, because I feel like you could have just as easily gone for like the BKB, and so like after you get lassoed, there's no way that you're going to get bursted down in the span of one lasso, so then you just activate BKB and then maybe you'll survive. But I don't know, maybe there's too much combo potential with lasso and a fissure stun and a telekinesis, and so it's just, I mean, the active on, or rather the passive on Aeon is called combo breaker, so maybe that's why.
I like it. Another item I did actually overlook, too, on the support Nature Profits, which we have seen a little bit as well, is the Meteor Hammer. And actually, sure enough, FNG does finish his own. He's going to use that to help push out the bottom lane. But and this is where he starts to become, even though he's position 5, there are some of those position 5 supports, like a Jakiro comes to mind, that he can still be very annoying when it comes to split push. And Nature's Prophet with the skill set obviously allows him to be that, especially now with the Meteor Hammer. But he's going to push up bottom, so he distracts bottom, and now they go right into the Roshan pit with a smoke and Exorcism.
And right now, Empire, they know that it's a smoke, but they don't know what kind of smoke.
Yeah.
And so they're expecting it to be an invasion smoke. Now it looks like Ghost Egg may have something. He sees this treant kind of like randomly standing around, and so they're beginning to suspect something. And now they 100% know.
Too late.
It's too late.
Illidan will pick it up on the Lifestealer. Oh, on disc was actually procced right there. Is Batrider caught? Oh, he sure is, yeah. I was watching Nature's Prophet actually just TP bottom and push that out. There's a Meteor Hammer.
Also.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's screwed.
Sprout himself and run. That's not going to work.
Yeah, he had a TP then maybe, but not even.
All right, so they find him at least. But again, they got Batrider. They have Lifestealer now with the Aegis picked up. And Illidan's decision, too, after the Radiance, a little curious as that is the Solar Crest going to be coming out for him.
Yeah,
but
you basically just stack evasion as Phobos gets a pick onto the Rubik as well. It makes it near impossible for a Phantom Lancer to deal with you, because Phantom Lancer never wants to have to go for an MKB this early on. And like you can see, like he sees, like you know that this is going to happen. This is basically the go-to build against the Phantom Lancers. Stack Radiance into Solar Crest, and there's like you get tons of armor, you get tons of evasion, and you can just sit around in a fight forever as a Lifestealer.
Props to Phantom Lancer, by the way. Nick's playing it here. That again, this was a little bit of a struggle. We talked about the laning phase and the moving was happening, and it seemed a little off. But that Diffusal pickup was a key. Timing, of course, back to the bottom lane fight that happened. Now he has a man stall. He's top net worth in the game, actually, and this. So that's obviously great success for Empire. And a chance for them to at least stay into the game for now. He's still down 7,000 net worth overall, but having the top farm and your Phantom Lancer feels pretty good, I'm sure. But
yeah, it's an exceptional catch-up, but I need to see more farm on these supports to guarantee that this Lifestealer is going to go down, because, like I said, Phantom Lancer is basically countered out by the farm of Nyx Assassin. Like the 10k net worth on Nyx, the 10k net worth on Lifestealer is worth a lot more in the context of this game than the 12k net worth on this Phantom Lancer, because most of it on Phantom Lancer is just kind of surviving and being irritating on the supports of Spirit, whereas Lifestealer is like all-purpose useful against the carries of Empire and the supports of Empire. As Nyx does get a nice kill on the Nature's Prophet in the mid lane.
Finds him there, pushes tier 1. Well played comes out. He's feeling good. Nyx Assassin does not have Lifestealer inside. They were hanging out, but the Infest is still on cooldown, yeah, for another 20 seconds. So Nyx Assassin instead just getting information right now.
Just walking into a sentry ward.
Yeah, they see him.
Gets pinged out.
They definitely know he's in the area. Another sentry.
They're waiting.
Middle tower is under
Liver. He's on the edge.
He's going to be seen there for a split second. The dust comes out. Now they know for sure. Vendetta even stolen by Miposhka. And he's going to use it to help finish up, but here comes the response. Actually, it gets here pretty quickly. Tiny, they get the turn kill on one. Now Razor's in trouble. Yields on up. Earthshaker's nearby. He does have his Echo Slam still, but he can't make a play. Razor's dead.
And now Illidan's canceling his blink with the Radiance burn. Yoku, he's running, and he's going to... he's making a good time.
He'll be good.
Is under attack.
He survives. Phantom Lancer pushed a little bit of the bottom lane, but Exorcism committed by G.
Yeah, that was
start pushing it out. That was for the Razor kill. That's right. He's going to push up the lane instead, but movement will continue. Illidan, he's bringing the creep away, so they know he's here, and actually is going to be lassoed on up. Phobos going to try to save his teammate. Puts out the Avalanche. Yoku is actually going to get turned. He pops the Echo Slam, but the PKP as well as the Rage means no damage coming out. Phantom Lancer, he has to walk it off. So at least they get a BKB use, I guess, but another pick off for Team Spirit.
Still have Aegis on this Lifestealer for another minute, and I think that they should definitely push out mid lane. You don't have Exorcism, but I don't think that really matters.
Tiny
Radiant's
for another
middle
opening.
tower is under attack.
Like you said, it's even without exorcism, at least the tier 2 tower should fall. And there you go. Takes it out. Illidan can now back off. So probably not going to get to use the Aegis necessarily too aggressively here, but it's done plenty for him already here, and we'll fall back, and maybe in the second Roshan is potentially what they're going to be waiting for. But top lane, they find Gostic. Byver does, I should say, and they're going to collapse on him. I mean, this team is just, and obviously it's not that surprising when you really look at the makeup, but with Nature's Prophet, the mobility of the Tiny, it seems like they just collapse on people so quickly. Different sides of the map.
It's like a domino effect. First, Byver's running around with the Nyx Assassin, just looking for information, and then if they find a target, then, then Phobos gets a kill on the Shaker near the Radiant Ancients. Yeah, and so, like, one leads into another, and now Byver has an infested Lifestealer. And so, Aegis has been reclaimed, but if they can find a pick on a Phantom Lancer, then that is an all-access pass to high ground.
Yeah. Yeah, look at FNG even. Again, the support Nature's Prophet. He's 6,600 net worth. He actually has 2,000 plus gold saved up. So,
Phantom Lancer just TP'd into a very dangerous spot.
Wow, yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under
They don't
attack.
know he's there. Nyx Assassin. Lifestealer is infested in him, but yeah, they're pushing tier 3. There's the jump. They jump on a Rubik. Not the most heavy priority of a target. And a responsive Phantom Lancer. Nyx Assassin getting low. Maposhka actually lives despite being the target of that jump. So they kill the tier 3 tower? No, it's actually still up even. And they get Illidan. Of course, No More Aegis just got reclaimed recently. That was a very deep dive from Team Spirit. Almost unnecessary, felt like. Yoku, meanwhile, he cuts off Death Prophet. Great TP in. Has an Echo Slam. Not going to use it there just yet. There's that Aeon Disc proc. G's going to keep on running for now. He has a freaking... Octarine Core as well.
Core.
Wow.
Yeah. He's so hard to kill. He still has Siphon charges also.
Can't get them off yet. He's going to be stunned up. There's a Siphon. It's not going to be enough. The stolen damage, 280 plus damage for Razor. Yeah, that seemed unnecessary from Spirit right there.
Yeah, they were going for a high ground push without all 5 heroes. Phobos was not in the vicinity. And again, like, this is the issue with initiating with a Nyx Assassin as opposed to a Tiny. Nyx Assassin does not do nearly enough burst damage, and his stun is a lot more susceptible to getting countered out with the Impale compared to the Tiny's Avalanche. And so they initiated, and Phantom Lancer immediately jumped in onto the Nyx Assassin, and the Nyx Assassin was getting killed, and so Lifestealer had to jump out immediately. Whereas if you had a Tiny initiating, Lifestealer could gladly sit in there for like another few seconds, especially seeing as how Phobos has that BKB, but yeah, a little bit overeager. Especially because they spent Exorcism, so it wasn't even like they were like, let's just go for a pick. It was like, let's commit for a tier 3 push, and they didn't have Tiny.
Bottom lane, opening on FN. Phobos running with the Shadow Play. There's a Vendetta opening as well. I don't think Razor's living through this. Maybe PKB popped, and actually he will survive, and now potential turn. They catch Nature's Prophet off to the side of the supporting cast. The Verse Shaker as well as Rubik. The Echo Stomp just in case will be used to finish the job. Onto Maposhka, though. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb for the team, so technically an eye for an eye there as support on either side goes down. The Razor living, though, pretty key.
Radiant's bottom shrine.
Man, this Phantom Lancer, all of a sudden a heart finished on PL. And he's that much more difficult to kill now with the Manta style on top of that. He's level 20 as well, so has that extra rush range to work with. Him and Razor are actually both level 20 as well. You got Tiny, the first one to hit 20 on the side of Team Spirit. Death Prophet and Lifestealer still trying to work there.
Yeah, for all the early game aggression that Spirit had, they're still playing this like mid and late game as if it's still the early game where they can kind of get picks all over the place and not really have to worry about grouping up. But you've got Blink Daggers on the Batrider, you've got a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, you've got BKB on Razor. Empire have nothing better to do than to 5-man behind this Phantom Lancer. So I think Spirit still have the potential to beat them in a full 5-on-5 team fight, but they are more interested in getting picks than going for fights. And like again, like Byver is trying to go for this flank attempt, but not everyone on Spirit is here. Nature's Prophet is in the bot lane, Tiny somewhere else, Lifestealer somewhere else. I guess they're probably just waiting for that next rush, as you said, which is up now. And I don't know if Lifestealer confirmed that he may send an illusion in the pit. Or maybe he already found out.
You know, I happen to be out of vision there of Empire at the time they I mean, barely saw him for a split second, and then the immediate reaction from Batrider to catch him there with the lasso. So very good reaction from Team Empire.
And now a gem has been bought by Rubik. It's on the courier right now, but again, like the Shadow Blade initiation on Tiny becomes that much more unreliable, and same with Nyx Assassin's Vendetta.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
I also feel like this Radiance pickup on Lifestealer, and again, the idea of it against Phantom Lancer is great, but it hasn't necessarily translated to that farm you'd almost expect, the rapid farm increase. He's continued to be like 3rd or 4th in the game on net worth. And is that because maybe he's spending time with the Infest Bomb ganks or whatever, but should he be prioritizing farm more? I mean, in a hindsight sense, or?
Only in retrospect. Like, the way that Spirit were playing it initially, like, I'm perfectly okay with the fact that he was more interested in Infest ganks. Now he's trying to man mode against Nyx, and man, if that Impale connected, that would have been pretty great.
Yeah.
But dodges it out. And so, like, now you're looking at it and you're like, this Phantom Lancer has gotten out of control. And so then you're like, man, I really wish I didn't go for all these gank attempts. But it's very difficult to be able to know that in advance. And on the flip side, at least Phobos has taken up the mantle of farming. He's completed a full Assault Cuirass. He has overtaken his Lifestealer in farm. And so not all hope is lost just because Lifestealer has fallen in behind.
True. Sorry, here, Miposhka, in fact, he's still in the area with that Invis, or I guess it's the Vendetta is what it is, and he can actually spot the smoke. He's going to try. They've already blinked forward, though. Nyx Assassin, he gets hit by the Fissure, though. As is Vendetta active. Can they find a target? No, they cannot. Earthshaker retreating at the Radiant side. Clearly they know something's up. However, Razor, another blink. Is he going to go all in for this? That'd be a deep dive. Are they going for it? They are. Oh, the Impale misses, though. FN is just a little bit too fast. The awkward timing. It's Razor's one of those kind of like a gyrocopter unit. They move so fast, so you think they're standing still for a split second. You think you have an opening with the Impale, and you do not.
The most valuable thing is Razor didn't panic BKB, and so they have it available, and both teams are very interested in this Roche. Radiant scan does confirm that there's someone in the area. They don't know who. We really need Shaker to lead off on Illidan. Oh man, if they can get an Echo. MKB
just finished, by the way, on Phantom Lancer as well. There's the BKB, the lasso up on Nyx Assassin. Here comes the Echo Sam. Unfortunately on the BKB target of DK Phobos, so not necessarily the biggest deal, but Phantom Lancer dealing plenty of damage. Live to the open wounds up on Nyx. No doppelganger for 2 more seconds. He's going to get it off in time with the Force Staff away, but G's also alive with the Exorcism running down the Radiant side. So far the only kill in favor of Empire, but it's Team Spirit the one that is running back Empire. Again, they did not have Nature's Prophet there. He's busy pushing top lane during that. But nobody dies on the side of Empire either. Take from that.
Problem is they can't take Roche either, because Razor had to spend his BKB. They're pinging it, but I mean, if Spirit are smart, they'll just immediately heal up Phobos and then head right over to the Roche pit. But neither team is really making moves quickly towards it. The Treant is going to scout it out. And now Spirit have to go, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they at least have that information. He's going to send more trees in. You see Batrider trying to maybe catch the Nature's Prophet top lane. But NP, by the way, he went a Blink Dagger. I didn't even mention that yet, but more mobility to work with and be a nuisance as far as split pushing goes. The ultimate idea there. 2,300 gold even saved up on him, so could even see like a Shadow Blade also coming out on it potentially. BKB, though, finished on Batrider, at least.
Yeah, he needs it for the Nyx Assassin. The carapace is just too irritating. Man, Spirit are still not going to this pit. This is so confusing. Like, Phantom Lancer could have been, like, soloing it this entire time, but Empire were playing it safe because they were expecting a turn. These trains keep coming in one by one, gets blocked out by a fissure, so they have to take an alternate path. But, like, they're not even in position. Lifestealer's in the bot lane, G's in the bot lane. Like, yeah, sure, Exorcism is down, but I don't know. I mean, if they don't take a team fight now, then when do they take a team fight?
I mean, they realize now that they treat it, but again, is it too late? It's a question. There's a Defiber goes in with the Impale. It's a little bit too early, though. He's going to be lasted up. Roshan is still barely alive. They kill the Nyx Assassin. Can Illidan get in there, maybe? No, he cannot. Razor, it's going to be picked up by Phantom Lancer of the Aegis, but now here we go. BKB's activated. Miposhka running away. DK Phobos trying to catch up to him with that BKB, while Phantom Lancer sitting on top of the Tiny. Miposhka's going to live at the time being. Phobos can get the kill, but he dies in response. Exorcism from GA on disc. Going to be procced right there. Yields on up. Nyx, though, playing that Phantom Lancer. He is not being dealt with. It's so hard to do, and clearly showing here. And now Spirit, they're in desperate mode of run away. Illidan trying to do so. Pops his rage. In retreat mode. Nature's Prophet, by the way, bought back, but not much he's going to be able to do at this point himself. In fact, Illidan's going to get caught up too and probably killed off. The miss is kicking in, but FN eventually gets credit for the kill. And Team Empire, for the first time this game, takes over the net worth lead, as well as having the Aegis still on Phantom Lancer. This PL is just too out of control now.
They waited way too long to contest the Roche on Team Spirit, because I guess the justification was to buy time for Exorcism to come back up, but they weren't even, like, distracting Empire. Empire were dealing full damage to Roche on the entire time, whereas, like, if you have, like, some Treants coming in, if you have Mixed Assassin, like, Vendetta-ing around, then Empire don't feel as comfortable dedicating, like, 100% of their resources to killing Roche. But Empire whittled down Roche, and then Viper tried to go for a steal, which is like, yeah, I know what you're trying to do, but at the same time, it's too late to buy time. You are better off just taking the fight afterwards, and Empire have, as you said, this Phantom Lancer is just out of control now, and no one can really deal with it. Really, the best way to deal with it now is a Mjolnir, but Phobos is going for a Bloodthorn, which I don't really know if that's the play, and Lifestealer, he's got a Sange and Yasha after he finished off the Radiance and Solar Crest, which is, like, not a great item right now, especially against a Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Lifestealer's items, again, I go back to, have been fairly static, it feels like. He's had that Radiance and SNY and a casual Ultimate Orb. Almost feels like 10 minutes or so. Been sitting on that, but overall the progress just not really being made by Team Spirit. We're on the other side of Empire. Not only is Phantom Lancer just a godlike figure in this game right now, but Razor also. I mean, he's now second in net worth. He has his own MKB. He's been sitting on that, you know, we see the casual Glimmer cape he's had as they catch Lifestealer. And he will have a buyback, I believe, but he ain't getting out of this one. That fissure block, too much to handle, so he's dead for 75 seconds. But yeah, going back to the Glimmer Cape pickup on Razor, really was a smart choice, especially against the openings of, say, the Tiny on top of him. It allows him to live that much more effectively, get away, and I'm sure that's coming to play many a times. Now, Bat Rider is going to get caught in response. And oh my god, I was going to say, if he PKPs, maybe he gets away. It was going to be risky, but it actually does work out, and now they're going for more of a turn. The lasso in, even Bat Rider living life on the edge, but it works out for Gostic. And it's just all crumbling apart for Team Spirit. This net worth swing is surreal. I don't see Spirit recovering in this one at this rate.
Yeah, I see like 10, probably more than 10 green dots on this net worth graph in like quick succession in the past, like, what, like 4 minutes, I guess. So yeah, things are going from bad to worse. It's I agree. It's solid itemization from Empire. These early MKBs, the Glimmer Cape. Usually we see Hood on Razor, but yeah, he goes out for the Glimmer Cape instead. And both the carries got MKBs, and I really I didn't agree with the Force Staff on Phobos' Tiny. And now he's going for Daedalus. He originally had the Bloodthorn queued up, but like, I don't know, like Mjolnir would be so effective right now. It's not like they have a pipe on Empire and like Phantom Lancer beating on you with 1,000 illusions. They don't have a nullifier to take it off. They don't have any ways of purging off a static shield, but I don't know.
Nature's Prophet has 4,500 gold.
Well. Yeah, he's pretty broke. I mean, he's
farmed. It's just like, what is he buying with that?
Yeah.
Okay, he bought an axe. Wow, all right. Oh, by the way, oh my god, Phantom Lancer's getting low. He has an Aegis. He is going to have it popped right here. DK Phobos, BKB activated, running away. Can he somehow live? It doesn't look. Oh my god, the double Force Staff will manage to somehow get out. If they kill Nyx again, that will be big, but a lot easier said than done, of course. As he's going to walk away for now. You're right, Nature's Prophet just put it at the top. Like, big Echo Slam back at the bottom lane. The one-minute response from Yoku coming out. The buyback on Nyx Assassin immediately as G, the Aeon Disc is popped, but Phantom Lancer still has to fall back. You look at the top base, as you mentioned. The ranged racks at least going down from Nature's Prophet, so...
And they want some picks. Biver's going. He uses the Impale, but Rubik blinks out just in time, and I think they're going to have to call it.
Should do it. But that's going to be the way to win now for Team Spirit, clearly. They're relying on their position 5 support, Nature's Prophet, to split push. And he can do it, to be fair, especially with Ags now.
Yeah, Aghanim Scepter is an interesting pickup. You unfortunately don't get Megatreants off of illusions dying, so like the two aspects of the Aghanim Scepter on Nature's Prophet is basically whenever a creep gets hit by the Nature's Call or Wrath of Nature, if a creep gets hit by the Wrath of Nature, then they have like a debuff on them, kind of like spawn Spiderlings. And then if the unit dies in like the next 4 seconds, yeah, it's 4 seconds, then you'll spawn a Treant out of them. And if you kill a hero under that debuff, then you get like a Mega Treant. It's not the greatest. It's unreliable to get Mega Treants usually, and they're not that great because they're still slow. It's mainly they're just like HP sponges because they're basically like big ancient creeps.
Okay.
But it helps for split pushing. So
wait, look at the top lane. Batrider's sole duty now is deal with Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
He keeps trying to push him, and Peach is literally beelining all the minions towards the base. The treants here, but Gostik's doing a hell of a job. And he's obviously a very good hero for dealing with this.
Right.
His Fireflight, Flame Break there, so also has the bots, but it is opening up a little bit of space for Team Spirit. And to be fair, I mean, when you look at their base, yes, the middle set of racks is gone, but they still have bottom and top. It's only one set of racks, so I guess that there is still hope for Team Spirit. But Phantom Lancer. And they know he's here. Do they have the upfront burst? Oh, he's at half-life already. The Spirit Siphon channeling him down. Doppelganger away, though. And for now, Nyx is on the run. Lifestealer gets the open wounds off. They're running after him. Nature's Prophet even TPing in the backline. So G will actually run down Rubik as Phantom Lancer is still trying to retreat this whole time. Echo Slam to hit on Lifestealer. They take him out with the Nyx Assassin as well. But it's actually the Radiant team running right now. Phantom Lancer did not do much offense there. He was trying to live that whole time, basically. So nice catch from Spirit.
Ghostic's gonna find it. He doesn't have the slots for it, though. I think he's just protecting it right now. And yeah, Earthshaker's gonna come and pick it up. And yeah, they find out Nyx because of that gem, but there's just not nearly enough burst damage quite yet, and he gets out, and even though he doesn't deal the offense, Razor at this point is dealing more than enough offense for the two of them.
Razor beating down the towers.
Wow, they glyph for that? Really?
Gotta save that building. Literally called building. Alright, tier 3 tower will go down, though.
Well, Lifestealer doesn't have buyback. So I guess they're just trying to stall as much as possible.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Batrider, he avoids with the Yules. Well played. There's a lasso. And now Team Spirit, you can tell, in complete desperation mode. Nature's Prophet is not split pushing either. He is trying to assist. Popping the Meteor Hammer. That's just an illusion, though. So the bottom melee racks goes down. Phantom Lancer on the run. 3 seconds. Lifestealer's back up. Nyx is getting a little low, but they just don't have enough lockdown. And a couple of 4 staffs as well. Nature's Prophet did TP bottom lane, by the way, so as mentioned, here comes that split push. You see Batrider's already back at base, though, and might get a little bit of tier 3 tower damage, but it's not going to be enough. She better get back.
Protection's still available.
And that too, yeah.
Well, all of Spirit are converging on this bot lane. No one's dead on Empire, but I mean, like, I wouldn't expect this movement, so if they can manage to find a pick, that would be great.
Yeah. Good point, actually. That's what they're going for. It's like, it seems so silly that the team won't actually expect it to be happening, so
yeah,
trying to make that catch, but not going to be had.
Yeah, now Lifestealer shows himself in the bot lane. The other downside of Aghanim Scepter at this stage on Nature's Prophet is, like, the creeps are very tanky, and so they usually don't die. Oh, slam, straight up.
Nature's Prophet's dead. Earthshaker. Glimmer Cape, save him for now. Batrider, he's lassoed. Nyx Assassin, it looks like. They do finish off him. G, though, he's still well alive. Aeon Disc is still ready to be used, actually. Buyback on Nature's Prophet, by the way. Top lane, Rubik's up there split pushing. Illidan using the Infest, trying to live. Nyx gets the kill. But Nyx on that Phantom Lancer, again, getting low himself. He's in trouble, actually. Phantom Lancer turning around, looking to do damage. No, he goes down 100 seconds. No buyback, actually. An opening for Team Spirit, perhaps. But maybe not. G, he's just not tanky enough. He's in trouble. He goes down. DK Phobos as well. And just when you think Team Spirit has a little bit of something, and all of a sudden 4 heroes are dead.
Pull roots and run.
And all Nature's Prophet
We'll see how much space that FNG's Nature's Prophet can create, because he is the only... Oh, never mind. TP completes from Ghost Stick, and now a secondary TP onto that.
And there's your answer.
That looks like game.
Not much. So no buybacks on anyone, but the Death Prophet, I don't know if I'd call the game just yet. With the way this one's going, Spirit is probably going to hang into it a little bit longer.
What an amazing thing.
It is amazing how this game has turned so much.
Oh, they're just going straight for the tier 4s.
Why not? Buyback Tiny.
Buybacks.
Oh, now they go to the top
40
lane.
seconds.
Lasso, they catch G. Aeon disc in 2 seconds. It's going to proc at the last second. Buying a little bit of time. It's good. Phobos open. Oh, he gets healed up as soon as he avalanches. Again, the gem seen him initially. They kill Batrider in the end. And actually, Empire doesn't really get much out of that. So again, Phantom Lancer's still trying to resurrect here. Another 18 seconds before he's up. So the game will continue for now.
Roche is up, and this is the fresher Roche. Assuming that Razor doesn't die, what a fissure.
Yeah.
Just saved his life, I think.
Shakerson doing a hell of a job. Proving to be a worthwhile pick, and actually avoids a counter on him, and looking to go back in now. Here we go. There's a jump though from Phobos. The avalanche on 2, including Batrider. Gripstorm hits on Rubik, and Rubik's dead. 2-minute death timer on Batrider as mentioned. With no buyback. That was a dieback indeed.
Wow.
Roshan?
Empire do know that their Phantom Lancer has been dead for like the past 2 minutes, right? Because they're playing as if the Nyx is like, they're like, Nyx, where are you, dude? And he's like, I'm dead.
Oh no. If Nyx dies again right here, that would be insane, but no, he is going to manage to live. You're right, though. It's they have been playing as if the game was already over. I mean, you kind of called it, but that's what I was saying. It's like, I don't know about that. It's Team Spirit. This game is going to continue, and they're going to try Roshan.
There's no exorcism, though. They just spent it.
They need this,
though.
though.
Not the fastest Roche.
But they're getting it. Radiant Team's not responding.
Yeah, I guess without Batrider, they just don't feel confident.
Shard on Death Prophet.
Yeah, he could go for YOLO Echo Sand, but it's too late now.
You give the shard to Death Prophet, right?
Kill FNG. Yeah, you give it to Death Prophet. Oh, FNG in the bot lane. He's looking vulnerable.
He is dead. So they find something, but they give up Roshan. Aegis on Illidan now. Shard on Death Prophet. You got Cheese on somebody else. Death Prophet? Oh, yeah, on DP as well. Ooh, Nyx. Finds Nyx.
Which Nyx is going to Nyx? The Nyx.
Nyx.
Oh, all the illusions are dead. Does he have? No, he's only level 20. Oh, he's still tracking him.
His supports are...
The illusions are zoning out.
If Phantom Lancer turns around there for a split second, they might actually have a kill. Assassin opens up on a Rubik, though. He'll settle for the Rubik kill. Does have a buyback.
Oh, nice. Likes to go to Lincoln's. Pretty much Static Link is the only thing he needs to be concerned about, and so it should deal with that. There aren't very many single targeted things. I mean, sorry, Lasso and Static Link, but Lasso's the main thing that he's concerned about for initiation. You can't pre-pop Lincolns easily, because Life Stealer... Oh, actually, no, never mind. Batrider has a Yules and a Force Staff, so it's still possible, but it's harder.
Yeah, he's had the Lincolns for a little bit, and actually he just bought a Maelstrom as well, so I know you're mentioning that
good,
earlier.
finally.
Yeah, finally we get the Maelstrom. Yeah, he happens to be on Life Stealer, so... Whew, this is, again, Empire trying to force that third game in, and they've made not only the comeback, but they just really took over, and you thought for sure we were going to see the final push, but not so much. Spirit is now looking for a response of their own, and you see that net worth chart dipping back in their favor. I mean, it was as high as 22,000 net worth lead for Empire. It's cut down to 14K now at this point. So, again, the swing is real, and in a game like this, I'm always hesitant to call either way at this point. I mean, this is one of those games where you can just tell it's either team's game, honestly. It's just a matter of who gets caught out in what spot, specifically with no buyback, of course. Phantom Lancer currently doesn't have one still, but as far as timers go, it's actually Tiny and Batrider and Nature's Prophet are the three, and Death Prophet, actually. So, yeah, in fact, the Dire side, they got about a 4 or 5 minute window here where they do not have buybacks on a couple of their cores. So that's an opening for Empire. But, again, they also have the Aegis, as well as the Cheese and the Refresher Shard. So it's that awkward spot of how really all out do you go if you're Empire at this point. But
Phantom Lancer's capped out pretty much. Only thing he's missing is a Moon Shard, but aside from that, he's pretty much 6-slotted. The Diffusal Blade is still valuable, so I don't really think... I mean, that'll be the first to go if he has to get rid of an item. But I don't even know what you do go for at this point. He's got Evasion, he's got True Strike, he's got a lot of tank. I mean, yeah, aside from Moonshard, I don't really think there's much else. I guess he could go for a Satanic, but even that's like unreliable.
I'm also looking at level 25 talents here on either side and what's been picked up. Obviously, Lifestealer's not level 25 yet, so that's actually pretty important to note as well. Really the only heavy core in this game that is not level 25, so still needs to get his, but everyone else is pretty much as you would expect going across the board. I'm looking at Nyx Assassin. He would be fun. And 100 agility is ridiculous, but the unobstructed pathing also sounds really nice.
Yeah, unobstructed pathing it's like that's one of my favorite 25s just because Nyx Assassin is one of those heroes that loses relevance in the late game just because Vendetta becomes so like everyone on the enemy team usually has detection at that point. Like there are gems, there's sentry wards all over the place, and so it's hard to be useful as a Nyx Assassin. But then once you hit 25, you can approach from all these weird ass angles and scout in a bunch of unpredictable ways. And then I imagine that Lifesteal is probably going to go for the 2-second rage duration. There's really no reason not to. Death Prophet went for Exodus and Grant's haste, which makes sense. Tiny went for the avalanche cooldown, which also makes sense. And Nature's Prophet is only level 19 right now, but I imagine he's probably going to go for... Well, actually, Sprout is very weird, because, like, it's super useful sometimes in the early game, sometimes it's useless, and then mid-game, whenever carries stop building Quelling Blade and stuff like that, then it becomes useful again. And then, like, ultra-late game, everyone remembers, like, Arteezy's Sven getting sprouted constantly by Nature's Prophet, and it's, like, one of those situations in which a lot of heroes will be like, I have to build a Battle Fury against Nature's Prophet, because if it reaches, like, 60 minutes and I can't cut my way out of a Sprout, then, like, that's one of the worst ways to lose the game.
Yeah. I can see that being pretty entertaining. So, yeah, him 20. Key point as well. All right, apparently after that, that's a pause there. Teams are ready to go again. And our zoom on with game number 2. Lifestealer actually buys the tome, really trying to get that 25 ASAP. Does he actually get rage or the feast damage lifesteal, you think?
There aren't enough tanky targets. If you were against like some strength core, then I think you go for the feast. But when you've got to deal with Fissure and Enchant Totem and Echo Slam and Telekinesis and whatever the hell Rubik manages to steal, I think the rage cooldown is more valuable. I mean, rage duration is more valuable.
Nyx Assassin. Vendetta's up. Looking for an opportunity here, scouting out in the middle. So Roshan, obviously it's going to be a long time before he's up because we're still dealing with the Aegis on Lifestealer.
Radiant
And then choose Refresher Shards. Yeah, that spot though, again, it's like you don't have buybacks on several of your heroes, but you have these advantage items from Roshan.
I think they're going to let Illidan farm up his buyback, and then they're going to be willing to go in. Because then basically Illidan has like 3 lives, which is pretty great.
Phantom Lancer going in. Sending the Illusion Army. Even Shiva's going to be popped for that. Help out. Oh my god, BKB, they're going really in. Death Prophet going to be the target. Remember, the Aeon Disc, though, will pop. A lot of BKBs activated across the board. Rubik gets picked up pretty quickly. FN, he's standing his ground. The Eye of the Storm active. Gostic from a distance, throwing out the Flame Break. He pops the cheese, and now Nyx playing the Phantom Lancer. Doppelganger forward. He has to be careful. He gets caught, though, for the time being. He has to man-fight up right here. The Echo Slam in the backlines as well from the Earthshaker. They kill the Phantom Lancer. No, Phantom Lancer's still alive for the time being. Lifestealer getting low. Cannot finish the job. The kite is so real from Empire, specifically Phantom Lancer. That Echo Slam timing as well from Yoku was insane. And now Illidan in trouble. Probably going to end up going down right here. Maybe take somebody with him. It's not going to be enough. He does not have a buyback. None of the cores do. And that might have just done it for Empire finally. Even with the Roshan advantage.
Well, if it just doing his damnedest, but I don't think Empire could care less about losing a Rax. No buyback on the Tiny, no buyback on the Lifestealer. He has 103 gold away from buyback. That's heartbreaking.
Oh, he got it because of the kill at the bottom lane, so at least there's a chance. That's what they were trying to make happen, but they just called GG at that point, yeah. It wasn't to be, but what a fight at the end there for Empire. What a comeback, though, really, too. Talk about a game that you thought it was just going to get out of control for Spirit, especially with the 1-0 advantage. And we made the compliment earlier to them that they were playing so clean and so just moving very nicely, like a well-oiled machine, but then there was that top push. The Nyx Assassin jumping in with Lifestealer, going for Rubik. It seemed like a very odd decision. Tiny wasn't there, I believe. And they forced it. It backfired, and that's where we saw a little bit of the change in the game. Work towards Empire eventually.
Yeah, they had the right idea, but I guess their timings were not matching up with whatever idea that they were going with. And, you know, props to Empire as well. They were not getting shaken despite their Phantom Lancer being underfarmed in the early game and despite getting picked off left and right by DK Phobos' Tiny, but they stood strong and they itemized well and they ended up coming out on top.
Game number 2. Going the way of Empire. That means game number 3. Going to be coming up now between Empire and Team Spirit. Our first of 2 best-of-3s, guys, today. We got Na'Vi versus Vega Squadron happening after this one, but we got to find out which of these 2 teams will be advancing on to the winner bracket and which of these 2 will be going down to the losers bracket. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Tsunami. Stay tuned, guys. Game number 3 coming up next.